Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheyenne. Come get ready with me. We're gonna go over some simple tricks that I've been using to be more productive in my day-to-day life. Before we even start, everything that I'm going to be using today will be linked in the description down below. So if you are curious to any of the products, they're in the description, just check it out. So I think it's really important before we even talk about productivity and being productive in the day-to-day life is setting goals so we know exactly what we're working towards. If you don't have any goals set, it's really hard to work towards something when there's no end in sight. So my top 4 goals for the year is 1, lose 40 pounds. I've been putting it off for the past couple of years and I really need to be consistent and actually follow through with losing the weight and keeping the weight off. I've really struggled with that after having kids. My second goal is to have more date nights with my husband because I feel like once you're a parent, you kind of lose track of time and you don't really get to have that alone time with your significant other. So this year we're really putting importance on that, and every other week we're doing a date night. My third goal would actually be to hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. I'm really close and I have a strategy on how to get there. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so and help your girl out. And then my fourth goal is to write more. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I really like to write. I really like to read, and it's always been a dream of mine to actually write a book from start to finish. And I started writing a book maybe about 2 years ago. It's been on my computer for this entire time, and so I am going to try to finish it this year. We'll see if it happens. I would really like it to happen. I just need to really work towards it, and I need to be consistent. And real quick, you guys, ignore how bad my skin is right now. I'm in the middle of a really terrible breakout, and there's nothing I can do about it except continue doing my skincare and pray to the acne gods to get rid of it. If you haven't already set goals for the year, I would definitely recommend sitting down, really thinking about what you want out of the year, what you want to work on, and breaking those down into quarters. So if you haven't heard of the book, The 12-Week Year, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It goes on to explain how to break down your goals and to be more productive and how to work towards those goals in a 12-week year, a 12-week plan. So think of it as how a business kind of breaks their year down quarterly. You're doing that with your life essentially. So if I want to lose 40 pounds by the end of the year, we're in February, so that would mean I would have 10 months left to hit that goal, which means I would need to lose 4 pounds a month. So you can already see how that seems less daunting than saying, oh, I have to lose 40 pounds. As long as I lose my 4 pounds this month, I'll be on track to hit my ultimate goal at the end of the year. So essentially every quarter, which is every 3 months, this first quarter is going to end in March. You reevaluate your goals. You see where your wins are, you see where your losses are, and you can reevaluate what you can do differently for your next quarter. And it's such a simple way to break down goal setting, and honestly, I don't know why I never thought of using this strategy before, because it's not a strategy that's reinventing the wheel. Businesses consistently use a quarterly plan to plan out their entire year. And for the most part throughout this entire video, I'm probably going to be using weight loss as my main example for all of these different strategies. So now that we have our goals and intentions set for the year and we've broken them down quarterly, we can now decide on the action plan on what we can do to actually achieve those goals. So for me, I struggle with creating a routine, building consistency. It is my biggest struggle, honestly. It's almost impossible for me to be consistent, be on a schedule. If it's at work, it's different because, I have a boss, I'm getting paid, these are the things I do every day. At home, I feel like it's a little more chaotic and it's hard for me to tap into finding that routine, and I think that's just the ADHD part of me that's you can't do this. I know, in fact, that I can do this. I just need to build that consistency, find a way to create that routine, and just keep on doing it. that brings me to building consistency. I actually found this really awesome spreadsheet design. I don't remember the YouTuber's name off the top of my head. I will cut screen to the monthly planner, and it breaks down your daily tasks, things that you need to do. So I have it broken down from morning, afternoon, evening, and my channel. So in the morning I have things like take my vitamins, do my skincare, do a 10-minute spin ride. These are all things that can help me achieve my goals, and I'll link the original YouTube video on how to make the spreadsheet if spreadsheets are more your thing. I honestly wish I remembered her name, but it will be in the description box down below so you can find it and you can create your own spreadsheet. I also added a little bottom section to it to break down my weekly to-do list, because I feel like if I don't have a to-do list, I will get nothing done, and I absolutely need to get a lot of things done. So for weight loss, I actually broke down a couple action steps. So my goal is to do a daily 10-minute spin ride. As you can see on that spreadsheet, there are a few days that I failed, but there are a lot of days that I succeeded as well. And a lot of those days I actually ended up doing like a 15-minute ride instead of a 10-minute ride. But once I build that consistency and I go into my second quarter, I'm gonna amp that 10-minute ride up to a 15-minute ride, and then in the third quarter, 20-minute rides. Fourth quarter, I'm gonna do a 30-minute ride up. So it is definitely good to kind of build on that consistency, build on that routine, and continue riding through that momentum. And by doing those little steps, I know that's going to get me towards my goal of losing 40 pounds. Another thing that I added in there so I can work towards my goal is, in order for me to finish my book this year, I need to write 50,000 words. That is the size of a novel. So in order to complete that, I need to write 100 to 500 words a day. And as long as I'm within that, I'm good. I'll finish it by the end of the year. But by setting up these little daily micro goals, I guess we can call micro goals. By setting up these little daily micro goals, I will be able to achieve my end goal in December. I get distracted really easily when trying to complete a task. So one of the things that I've been doing to keep me on task is actually listening to motivational videos or white noise. So I like to listen to different YouTubers or like podcasts while I'm trying to do a task. Especially if it's cleaning or doing something that I really don't enjoy doing. I have to listen to something to stay on task and to stay motivated. So for like cleaning and like trying to reset my life, I listen to a lot of Alexa Sparks. She is a content creator here on YouTube, and she talks about like resetting your life, productivity, just really creating the life that you want to live. And I find that her videos just keep me going and keep me moving, and they keep me on task, which is the most important thing. When I am feeling a little unmotivated and like I need to get my ass up and get my ass doing something, I listen to the Gary V podcast, or I watch one of his YouTube videos, and he is extremely blunt, in your face, tells you how it is. And I feel like that really helps me kind of get motivated and get back into the swing of things, because sometimes trying to grow your career can just be, I don't want to say discouraging, but you can have discouraging moments. So listening to something that is motivating is definitely going to keep you on track with where you need to be and what you need to do. And then a third YouTuber that I actually really like to listen to, especially when it comes down to like content creation, like trying to create like a YouTube strategy or like social media strategy, I like to listen to Catherine Manning. She's a content creator here on YouTube, but she also has an Instagram that she works on. She has a blog, a website, and she's been content creating for a really long time now. So I definitely like to listen to her videos when I'm kind of feeling unmotivated to maybe film or write or whatever task it is I need to do that I'm just feeling unmotivated. I think she's a great person to watch and follow to kind of get that motivation back. And I know my makeup is looking a little crazy right now. Just this is one of those trust the process moments. I definitely find that listening to other content creators about their strategies or like what they do to keep motivated definitely helps keep me motivated. I messed up this side. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Definitely not my best eyeliner today, but it's my day off. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Another thing that I've been doing to stay consistent is setting a timer when doing a task. So there's this thing going on online. I forget the name of it. It'll probably pop up somewhere in here, but it's a whole strategy. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Get as much done as you possibly can on that task. You only focus on that task. Once you're done with your 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break and then you reset the process. It is a great idea, but I think that 25 minutes is incredibly too long for me in particular. Like, my ADHD kicks into hyperdrive and then I start getting distracted. I start doing the endless scrolling on TikTok and I don't end up completing the task that I need to complete. But what does work for me is setting a 15-minute timer. So I will set a 15-minute timer to complete a task. I'll work really hard on just that one task. As soon as that timer goes off, I now have a few minutes to kind of recollect myself, do whatever I need to do to kind of like shake that distraction off, and then I set another 15-minute timer. So if you see a strategy online that you're like, that might work for me, but it might be too long, it is totally okay to adjust whatever strategy you come across to make yourself the most successful that you can be. And speaking of success, that brings me into setting yourself up for success the night before. And so what I mean by that is, like, for me personally, I know I'm gonna do my 10-minute ride in the morning. So the night before, I set up my gym clothes and my gym shoes right next to my stationary bike. And that way, first thing in the morning when I wake up, I have my cup of water or my can of water next to me, drink some water, go right to my spin bike, and then start my ride. There's nothing there to prevent me from doing it. There's no feeling of like, oh, I have to go find my gym clothes and get ready. Oh, I have to find my gym shoes. Like, everything's already there. I have no excuse to not get out of bed and just put it on and get on the bike. So trying to simplify your life as much as possible is going to be the key. And I wish I had realized that sooner, because in my head, building routine has always been this like really big thing. It's like a huge life change and it's really hard to accomplish. But when you like break it down into like smaller things, like, you know, it's easy to do a spin ride every day for 10 minutes versus doing 3 1-hour workouts. I'm getting more exercise than I normally would, but I'm building that routine, I'm building that habit, and I'm building endurance. And most importantly, I'm building consistency. I'm learning how to live my life in a more consistent way. Even if I don't see major life changes in the beginning, I don't need that instant gratification. I'm not trying to hit these goals in a short amount of time. I'm trying to hit these major goals throughout the year. So it's much easier to break everything down as small as possible so you can see those bigger results in the long run. And I think that's the thing, is you have to change your way of thinking when it comes to goal setting and productivity. You have to really keep in mind that like these are changes that you have to make for a long time. It's not like a thing that you do for 6 months and then once you hit your goals, that's it, you're done. You have to consistently work at things in order to hit those goals, and you have to just change your mindset and realize that it's not going to be an instant gratification. You're not going to see these changes tomorrow. And I think that's what I was struggling with the last couple of years with my goals, is not realizing that I need to focus on the long term and not the short term gains, because the short term does not benefit us. We need to think long term, you guys. So I think what we can do is we can do these quarterly check-ins with each other. So next month in March, I'll do a quarterly check-in and we'll go over my fails, my wins, my losses, whatever you want to call them. We'll go over what we accomplished, what we didn't accomplish, and what we can do differently to hit those goals. I really encourage you guys to create your own little spreadsheet like I did. Definitely hit that link down in the description so you can follow her tutorial and set up your own spreadsheet, and you can hopefully follow along with me in this journey and we can be more productive together. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, you guys.